Okay. Our speaker today is Rosemary Regan. Rosemary tells me that she has 2 bachelor's degrees in technical theater and psychology, as well as a master's in communication. By day, she serves as an office manager in a doctor's office, but she says her true calling lies in unseen, where spirit and the light of understanding is always unfolding. When faced with an abrupt move last year, Rosemary ended up in Royal Oak. Though it was not a consideration at the time, spirit has a way of diverting our course when it's in our best interest, doesn't it? She lives with her bunny, Clementine. Rosemary loves gardening, reading, and many forms of crafting, and she does very beautiful work. Rosemary says her awakening to spirituality began during her college years when she first became aware of her gifts of mediumship, clairvoyance, and clairaudient. She says she is eternally grateful to Reverend Elizabeth Brown, who she has studied under for the last 3 years and whose wisdom, patience, and loving guidance has helped her step into our spiritual power. Rosemary says that in honor of her beloved grandmother, a radiant soul who embodied love and kindness, she performs a random act of kindness each day. This is her way of keeping her grandmother's light alive in the world. It's awesome. This is Rosemary's 2nd time being here. And today, as she stands before us filled with gratitude, ready to open her heart and share a message born of spirit, love, and divine inspiration, I hope that you will open your hearts and hear what she has to say. Let's welcome Rosemary.
Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I am so glad to see every single one of you. I am humbled that so many of you are here today. So throughout our journey on this earth, we encounter all kinds of people. Some will resonate you and some simply will not. Some will be open-minded and curious, and others will be closed off. Some will make you think, while others, frankly, will leave you wondering how they walk and chew gum at the same time. Some will challenge your patience, and others, they will inspire your growth. And the truth is, we need all of those people. No one we meet is without value on our journey. Sometimes people who come into our lives, they don't feel like gifts at first. They feel like interruptions, challenges, like mirrors we didn't ask for. But if we're honest, those are often the moments that matter the most. Growth, really comes from comfort. It comes from contrast, from friction, from being stretched beyond where we thought we could go. And that is why every interaction matters. Not because every person you meet will stay indefinitely, but because every person teaches. It's through that contrast that we begin to understand ourselves better. The people who uplift us show us what's possible. The ones who challenge us show us where we still need to grow. And even the difficult ones serve a purpose. They teach us discernment, boundaries, strength. And when you start to see it that way, something will shift. You stop asking, why is this person in my life? And start asking, what is this experience meant to teach me? That is where growth begins, and that's also where mentorship is born. You can read books, you can take classes, but at some point, you eventually need another person. There comes a point in everyone's life where information is no longer enough. You need someone who has walked the path before you. Sometimes they can see you more clearly than you can see yourself. Someone who doesn't just give you the answers, but helps you become the kind of person who can find them for yourself. And that's the role of a mentor. And it doesn't always look like we think it might from the movies, or it doesn't feel always warm and easy. It doesn't come wrapped up in the way that we would always expect. Sometimes it comes in the form of truth. Clear, direct, undeniable truth. The kind that makes you pause. The kind that makes you uncomfortable. The kind that makes you look at yourself in a way you've been avoiding. That kind of guidance that can be very hard to receive. Now, my mentor, I'll be honest with you, although she couldn't be here today, and I'm sure many of you know her, Reverend Elizabeth Brown. I didn't like her when I first met her. She didn't soften things. She was direct. She saw right through me. And she said things out loud that I wasn't ready to hear. Now, of course, I know that my initial feelings about her weren't about her. It was about what she reflected back onto me. A true mentor doesn't just affirm you, they reveal you. And being revealed isn't always comfortable. In fact, more often than not, it's very uncomfortable and scary. Because it means seeing what you've been hiding, where you've been playing it small, where you've been waiting for permission, for uncertainty, for certainty, for the right time. A mentor doesn't remove those things for you, though. No, they make it harder for you to ignore them. A mentor gives perspective that is sometimes very uncomfortable. Those times of discomfort are when the real impact begins. A good mentor won't just support you, although they will also challenge you. They will call you forward and not just comfort you where you are. She pointed out where I was holding back, where I was second guessing myself, where I said I wanted growth, but wasn't fully stepping into it. Needless to say, I didn't like always hearing it. And many years ago, on a Thursday evening, similar to the weather today, I sat in a chair directly across from her, and she was holding a basket, and she was walking up and down the aisles shaking it. And she had this grin on her face, like she watched each person, and those of you that know her, you know the grin. Like she's planning something. She has a premonition. It was as if she watched each person come up to the front of the room and walk a plank. Now, the time ticked, and as it went on, I was thinking, like, possibly could I escape? Could I recount my steps and my choices that brought me here? And the minutes ticked, and suddenly there she was. It's your turn. She's looking at me expectantly. And as I go to the front of the class, I am terrified. I'm not nervous. I'm terrified. Everything wanted me to shrink and to step back and disappear. And in that moment, she came up behind me and she put her hand against my back and she quietly said, I'm just going to hold this steady for you. I'll hold you steady. And she did. She didn't take over. She didn't rescue me. She didn't remove the moment from happening. She just held steady. Enough for me to find my footing, enough for me to stay, enough for me to do the thing I didn't think I could do. Something in me shifted in that moment. Not all at once, not some dramatic transformation, but something in me realized I didn't fall apart. I didn't disappear. I didn't fail in the way that I thought I would. And that matters. The first time you do something that scares you and you make it through, you build trust with yourself. There's a saying that goes something like, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And that rings true in so many facets of my life. Once you take that single step, the rest becomes easier. And mentorship isn't making about things easier, though, as she will frequently point out. It makes you stronger while not letting you fall apart in the process. A mentor will challenge you, but they will also support you when it matters the most. What once felt confronting, it becomes grounding. What once felt uncomfortable becomes necessary. A mentor accelerates growth because they introduce a level of awareness, often when we can't even imagine its existence on our own. They see the patterns we miss. They help us course correct before we drift too far off the path. And maybe most importantly, they remind us of who we're becoming when we forget. We all fall back into the doubt. Life has a way of pulling us back into the doubt and holding into old patterns that we've been telling ourselves for years and stories we've been coming up with. I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. This isn't for me. A mentor doesn't let you stay in those moments. They don't carry you, but they don't leave you either. In those moments, the mentor holds the vision steady, just like she held me steady that day. And time goes on and you begin to trust your own voice. You start to stand on your own footing. You no longer need someone else to hold the energy steady for you because you have learned how to do it for yourself. And that might be one of the most powerful realizations of all, that what once felt impossible is now something you can do. The steadiness you once needed from someone else now lives within you. And that's not by accident. That's the result of someone believing in you long enough so that you could start believing in yourself. And like most good things, mentorship isn't meant to be permanent. A mentor is not someone you are meant to stay dependent on. They are someone who helps you develop your own inner authority. The goal of mentorship is not to create followers. It is to help create leaders. That is the success of mentorship. And then something else even begins to happen, and you begin to recognize that once what was given to you is now yours to give. You become a steady presence for somebody else. Maybe not by saying much, maybe not by flexing anything or fixing anything, but by simply standing beside someone and letting them know you are not alone in this moment. And you'll hold the energy steady for them. Dr. Wayne Dyer once said, "See the light in others and treat them as if that is all you see." That is what my mentor did with me. And it made all the difference. May we all be lucky enough to meet the person who will hold the energy steady for us. And may we all become that person for somebody else. Thank you so much for hearing me today. Thank you so much.
Amazing, girl. You sound like you've been doing it forever. I told ya. All it takes